Hello, Corbus,
Hello.
and hello to everybody who's watching this testimony. We are at the end of year one of Kingdom First, which is a discipleship school that we run, just helping people to step into a life in the supernatural, in the Holy Spirit. And so we're just sharing some testimonies about what God's done, some of the changes that have occurred in us, what we've seen the Holy Spirit do, and just what transformation has occurred. So, Corbus, I'm going to hand over to you. I'm sure I'll interrupt at various points, but why don't you start us off?
So I came to NBC in July of 2022. I now realize that, well, I knew it at the time, that I was a very broken man. Over the next year, I came to find people in NBC a massive blessing, always ready to pray and support. In that first year, I heard often of the Kingdom First course, and was even asked a few times if I wanted to do the course. My standard excuse at the time was, no, it's on Zoom. I don't like Zoom after the COVID malark. I like things in person. So I dodged that first year very successfully. I found the longer I stayed at NBC, the more I heard of people experiencing amazing things, because they prayed for people in the street or online or in church. And I finally decided a year ago, to do the course, and what an amazing journey. I think the one thing that really scared me a bit is this. There's always the theory first, and then afterwards you get to do it. And it reminded me of a Sunday service where Rob preached about prophecy. He said this at the beginning of his preach. I'm going to talk about prophecy, and afterwards you all are going to have a go. And the church fell silent. I think you could hear a mouse tiptoe around the place. God started healing me and lifting me up, and he started doing amazing things in me and with me. In the Kingdom First course, every time we prayed, we had something happen. The most amazing bit for me was when I, for the first time ever, said that I have a picture for someone. And I cannot remember what I said, but the picture was of a sausage roll. That's if I can remember it correctly. And then the person I gave that picture to said, yes, that is for me. And it was an amazing feeling when I realized that the creator of everything had in mind to use me, this broken person, not sure of anything, especially the future. But God kept on using me, giving me pictures for people and words that I know did not come from my own brain. I know those words came from the power of the Holy Spirit. And as we progressed through the year, God continued to use me, and every time it was an amazing feeling. I realized that the Holy Spirit cannot be restricted to an in-person meet or geographical location. I realized that if you are just willing and open, that Holy Spirit can work the biggest wonders in people, and the only thing linking them together is an application called Zoom and a willingness to pray. I further realized that my excuses against Zoom was just that, excuses. I have thanked God often for NBC, and not the building, the church, the people. That's what I say thank you for. And the way that NBC prays for people inspired me to mention to my bike group that maybe we could start praying for people as well. And I must admit, it's the quickest way to get a rowdy bunch of bikers to just fall silent, not saying a word. But I'm serious, they don't realize it yet. But because of what I've learned at NBC and the testimony I've seen, we as bikers will start praying for people. We might even join you for a smite or two. I just need to get them to commit enough. All I've got to thank for that is the Kingdom First course. And I've actually, in the first place, I want to thank God, Holy Spirit, and Jesus, and then everyone else at NBC and Zoom.
Hey, Corbus, thank you. Yeah, no one's going to use Zoom as an excuse after this, are they? So just
Sorry.
just a couple of things. So you personally have received some really deep inner healing, and you
Yeah.
gave we were having a chat, weren't we, outside of this, um, and you gave a great a picture illusion of what it felt like. Do you remember the coffin and the nails? Because I think that would just be useful to share.
Sorry, you broke up a little bit there when you said conversation we had.
Yeah, we were talking about some of the inner healing that you'd received because
Yeah, I
there's been
remember
some
that.
massive kind of breakthroughs that you've experienced, and you're talking about a coffin and the nail, and that, that's how
Oh,
that's
yes.
just your experience of how it's been. I think if you could just share that, because I think that's really helpful for people.
Yeah. Well, I think what I'm referring to there is that um, when I came to NBC, I was obviously very down and out, and every time that people prayed for me, it was like um, this thing needed to be buried, this thing needed to be closed, and every time we prayed, it was like another nail in the coffin to get rid of my experience, my pain, my brokenness, I suppose.
Yeah,
Um, and every time it felt like um, with every nail that was put in the coffin, I felt more free. And I don't know if it really makes sense, but it's just amazing that God will just work through you, in you. Um, yeah, and I think the coffin and the nails thing is another picture I just had in my mind about how to be set free, and how to be set free is I
yeah,
suppose you can use prayer as a hammer that just gets rid of stuff and smashes it to bits and
yeah,
just
yeah.
gets rid of it. Yeah.
I think that was very powerful. I think you had an experience. I mean, what was also just really spoke to me in terms of being inspirational was, we prayed for you, I don't know, a couple of weeks ago, without getting to kind of specifics, but it was something that had just been with you for years, had been affecting your sleep, um,
Yeah.
couldn't get away from, and this kind of experience happened, and you didn't even think about it, couldn't even remember it the next week.
Yeah. Yeah, it was something that was prayed for me that I suppose since 2021, but more so since 22, and it kept me from sleeping, and I survived on maybe 4 to 6 hours sleep a week, and that was on a good week. The rest of the time, I literally would just sit in the same chair that I'm in now and just sit the night through, just sit the night over every night, And sometimes you have to sleep a little bit, and then you walk upstairs. I used to walk upstairs and can't keep my eyes open, and the moment my head hits the pillow, it's gone. Sleep is just completely gone.
Yeah,
And when 2 weeks ago, when the guys prayed, when you all prayed for me, I was just completely set free of those very how do I put it, disabilitating um,
toxic.
words.
Yeah,
Yeah, very toxic words. Yeah, and it used to drive me into a pit of despair that I didn't know if I was coming or going or if I was anything really. Um,
yeah,
and I've been completely set free of that. So yeah, so it is amazing.
yeah. And
Yeah.
how's the sleep been in the last couple of weeks?
Um, Amazing. I struggle getting up in the morning now.
Yeah, because
Like this morning, sorry, like this morning, although I was off for the first half of the day because I had to go to Newbury, I got up at I had to leave at 9:15 at the latest. I only got up at about nearly 8 o'clock. So, so now that I just hit the clock and it's like gone.
yeah. Do you know, I mean, just looking at you, Kobus, because I remember, I was in that group that was praying for you a couple of weeks ago. You
Yeah.
did look so tired. I mean, you had really quite dark bags under your eyes, and
Yeah.
they're all gone. I can tell you they're all gone.
Well, it's amazing to be free of negative words and toxic words, and yeah.
Yeah. Kobus, thank you, thank you. It's always inspirational just hearing how God has moved in other people's lives. So really appreciate you sharing.
Yeah, thank you.